You're with these locals. There are not that many foreigners around. You'll notice. It was cold. It was winter. So obviously, where are you gonna go? I wanted to say something, and I was like, they put so much effort into this dinner. Oh. It's just so much more value adding if you're able to.
Hey guys, we're here with China Essential Podcast where we talk about study and life in China. My name is Joshua and we're here with Alper Avci. I hope I pronounced it correctly.
That's a very good pronunciation.
Thank you. And today we're going to talk about Chinese New Year in China.
Yes.
Alright, so how long have you been here in China?
It's been, let's say the first time that I actually touched ground in China was 3 years ago.
Okay.
So I came in 2022, right after or still during COVID. So that was a really exciting time. Spent 1.5 years in Beijing, went back to my home country, Germany, and then, I'm in Shenzhen now here for half a year, and I really enjoy it.
So that means if you've been here for like 3 years, you've had at least 2 Chinese New Years, right? In between?
Let me calculate. I guess so, yeah. I had, so this is going to be my third one, yeah.
Coming up, okay. So can you tell us, like, what did you do for any of these Chinese New Years?
It's a good question. I think for the very first one, that was 2023, just to provide you a little bit of context, it was, like the entire world, essentially COVID, so you couldn't really move a lot, you couldn't travel a lot. And then just a few months before Chinese New Year, I arrived in China, and then I was kind of getting used to the Chinese lifestyle, but even then you couldn't travel that much.
Right.
But shortly before my very first Chinese New Year, actually, travel restrictions got lifted and we could travel. So my very first Chinese New Year was traveling, actually. I was traveling. I don't really remember. Oh, I went to Yunnan province. It's a really, really pretty province. And I was just traveling there with a friend. I went off the beaten path in the jungle, and then we went to small little community villages, and then we had a few gatherings here and there during the entire week of Chinese New Year. So
you said we, but who's this we? Who'd you go with? Was it like a girl, or was it a group of friends? What?
So it was a friend of mine. His name was Amaury.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Do you remember him?
I know him. Yeah, from France. Yeah.
I think it was You, by the way, remind me a little bit of him.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean, like personality-wise?
Well, for most obviously, first because both of you just sing.
True.
Can you do the singing
He's
performances? He's really good as well. No, but then also I don't know, in how you structure your lifestyle, for example, your everyday life. Both very athletic, very likable.
Oh yeah, he's very athletic for real. Okay.
Yeah, he is.
I'll take this as a compliment. Thank you.
Of course.
Okay, so this is your first one. How did you find going in these? You said you went to the jungle and these counties and stuff. How was the difference between the city where you were before, I assume in Beijing, and there? And tell us a bit about the different, because China is huge, and a lot of people don't know how huge China is and how many different places there are. So you could tell me a bit about this.
So it is huge, yeah, absolutely. And I don't know, to be honest, you gotta imagine I didn't have any idea about China much before I came here, right? Just what most people probably know. So I was very naive, and I was very innocent when I came here, I didn't know much.
He's not innocent nowadays.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
And no, and honestly, we just had this, I think 6 or 8 week period where we could just travel freely, and we kind of just went one direction. It was cold, it was winter, so obviously where are you gonna go? You're gonna go more south, of course. Okay. And then from there, kind of we worked our way through, and during the entire backpacking trip, we then kind of came up with a few nice places that are around. And then we ended up in Yunnan, and then what I personally really noticed often is you have to put a little bit of effort when you're traveling here to let's say find an experience that is a bit more off the beaten path. So if you wanna, how I personally enjoy it, some other people might not. How I enjoy it, just fully going with no plans, but in a very authentic setting and meeting a lot of locals. So no prepared environment at all. Then you have to put a little bit of effort and find your way through. And we just did that. So we went to a few places, avoided the most famous sites in these areas, and then it ended up that we met a very interesting guy. He was local. His English was really good, and he was touring us around for 1 or 2 days. And yeah, and then he led us through the jungle essentially. It was semi jungle. It was, I call it jungle, of course. It was not like how you imagine, but like it was really really nice, and this is how we kind of found our way through. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Tell me now about you met somebody in China and they just like helped tour you around. How is it like interacting with Chinese people normally? How was it during that time?
So I to answer your question, usually always amazing, very very often. You get a lot of curiosity because depending on where you are, if you're outside the large cities, they're really excited to meet foreigners, and because there are not that many foreigners around, you'll notice. Like
True, yeah.
if you travel, you'll mostly see Asian faces and mostly Chinese people over there traveling inside of China. So most people will actually face you with a lot of curiosity. And
Right.
you might have noticed this as well.
For sure, of course.
Yeah. Um, but people are very heartwarming, very welcoming usually. So that was really exciting for me. But then, not answering your question anymore, but a funny side story is now I do speak some Chinese here. But
Okay.
initially, when I came here for, let's say, a plan. I had a plan of staying here for 10 months. No, I stayed here now for 3 years, but like, this is how things end up. But initially, I was like, do I really want to learn Chinese? It's like, it'd be nice, but I think it's too hard. Let me just skip it and have a good time here as an international. And then for the first 2-3 months living on campus, it was fine. Everything was in English for me, at least like having international friends. And then I started doing this trip, as I told you. And some of my friends, including Amaury, for example,
Yeah, of course.
they were just, they knew some Chinese. It was not amazing, but it was some Chinese. And we were in restaurants, we were with these locals, and they could have a small interaction. And I was like literally there. I wanted to say something, and I was like, I literally knew how to say ni hao and xie xie. Literally, like there was nothing else that I knew. And I was like, in this moment, I was like, I want to learn Chinese because I wanted to connect with the locals as well, but I just couldn't. And this entire journey, also around Chinese New Year, and interacting with all of these locals made me want to learn Chinese because it's just so much more value adding if you're able to connect with the people and not just being like, and that's it. So this is my entire story. I assume then my first Chinese New Year kind of led me to start learning Chinese, and by this committing more to this country, and then in the end ending up longer than 10 months and being here now for year number 3.
So this is, first of all, it's a really good story, and I think everybody has like that like turning point where they decide to commit to something that is really difficult. Like for me, when I was learning Chinese and Spanish, I was trying to learn both at the same time. Crazy stuff. There was this moment where I was in a class, an online class, because it was also COVID at the time, and the teacher who spoke Chinese and English was trying to say something to the student who spoke Spanish only. Spanish and a little bit of Chinese, but not enough Chinese. So, but I knew enough Spanish and enough Chinese to get between the two, And when I did it and they both understood, I was like, wow. I wasn't good, but I was enough to tell. I was good enough to tell them the homework and that kind of thing. And I was like, you know what, this is it. I need to learn these languages properly,
That's very interesting, by the way. This language combination was also one for me because I did learn Spanish quite a few years ago, and I would say my Spanish was at some point basic or good enough, like roughly like my Chinese. And then I stopped learning it for quite a bit. And then I came to China, and then, as I said, I started learning Chinese. And I remember there was one day where Lionel Messi came to Beijing.
Oh.
And they had I don't know, they had a match over there. So you would go to downtown Beijing and you couldn't move because hundreds of, probably thousands of people. I don't know, it was a lot. Everyone just having Messi shirts.
Shirts, right.
And then there was one Chinese girl, and she approached me. She also had a Messi shirt, of course, and she was doing an interview. She was asking me in Spanish, "Hey, can I interview you?" I think she might have assumed that I'm Latino or something.
Or Brazilian or something.
Could be anything. And I answered in Spanish as if it's natural, like the basic Spanish that I knew. And then we started doing this interview, but I was living in Beijing for quite a few months already. So and I was also actively learning Chinese every single day back then. So she started interviewing me in Spanish, and I was like, my brain thought in Spanish, but I couldn't speak it. I couldn't speak it out loud. It was so mixed that I started speaking Mandarin and then throwing in a Spanish word and then probably continuing in German because I was so confused, you know, just like intuitively. So these languages really mix up in my brain. So I really gonna make sure that I keep them separate. I'm not sure how you did it, but yeah, I definitely, sorry Spanish, but Spanish is not, not active right now.
I definitely understand this story. You know, recently I had a trip. We went to Sichuan for like a field trip. We have these field trips at school all the time, which you would know about.
Yes.
And there was this lady who also speaks Spanish. She's a Chinese lady. She speaks Spanish, Chinese, English. And I think maybe that's her role in the Foreign Affairs office in the place. And she was like, oh, you're from Barbados. That means you speak Spanish, right? No, we speak English in Barbados. But I said, no, but I do speak a little bit. And then she started speaking in Spanish. And I started using Chinese grammar with Spanish words. I was like, oh no. Like in Chinese you could say like 可不可以 or 会不会. And I was like puedo不puedo. I was like, what? I was like, no way, what did I just say? It happens for
Yeah. It's 100% relatable. Yeah, very confusing.
Very confusing.
Yeah.
I had a question. What was I going to ask you about? Let me pause for a second. Let me look for the questions. Oh, right. We were talking about Chinese New Year's. Right. So your first Chinese New Year was quite interesting. So then you spent that one in China, pretty much.
Yes.
How was the second one? Did you spend it here or what did you do?
Let me think about it very quick. Oh yeah, that was my second one. It was the end of my stay. So I had just completed 1.5 years in China, in Beijing. And I was traveling then. I was solo traveling. I wanted to go or fly back to Germany, but I wanted to take my time. So I was first traveling around before that, a few weeks before that. I was traveling around China, mainland China, and then going towards Hong Kong, Macau, then to Taiwan, and then later to Japan, and then from Japan flying back.
This way. Okay.
So I did a circle like that, and I was in Taiwan back then. And what I did, I was traveling around, and I know that generally here in East Asia, Chinese New Year often means, look, by the way, funny coincidence, you notice, I think so far every single Chinese New Year was traveling for me. But it's tricky. Chinese New Year and traveling is not that easy because obviously most people, even shop owners, restaurant owners, they all go back home, spend time with their families, meaning shops are closed, restaurants are closed, many hotels probably as well. So generally things are not going that well, so it's not that easy. So what I did, that was really cute. I then found in Taiwan, I found a small, very, very tiny surfer village.
Okay.
You see the pattern? I like these tiny places.
Yeah.
Surfer village.
Very offbeat.
Yeah. So there were quite a few foreigners over there as well, which was helpful. And I just decided to spend, although you would usually spend maybe a day or two if you'd really want to travel there, I spent this entire week over there. Everything was closed down, but there was this one small community of co-living people. People from all walks of life. We were living there together for a few months in a house. And although I didn't know them, we were invited over, or I was invited over. I literally met them on the street 2 minutes earlier. They invited me over. They prepared amazing dinner. It was really nice. We were a community. We were then 15 to 20 people maybe. We made some music then there.
Oh,
and then,
music's always nice.
Yeah, it was really nice because it was a very, very strong community feeling. And you had, as I said, most people were Asian. Some of them, I think, one of the only foreigners in that sense then there. And it was so nice. And I still remember this community feeling. It was a little bit hippie because the entire town was hippie.
It sounds a little bit. But
yeah. It was very hip. Like, also the instruments that we used to play. You know, there's certain instruments that have a bit more of a hippie touch.
Yeah.
So they were definitely there. But overall, it was so nice because I really noticed this strong community feeling there. Being invited, just like someone meeting me on the street and inviting me over for the dinner that they put in so much effort into this dinner. I could tell this because, you know, like I usually cook some, I don't know, pasta with some cheap pesto, you know, like something quick done in 5 to 10 minutes.
Right. In Barbados, we call these 1, 2, 3s, just like quick.
Yeah. It was probably 1, 2, 3, what I usually do in my everyday life. And then they invite me over with this hours and hours of preparation that they put in there, and I'll be finishing it in like 5 minutes. No, but like I really enjoyed it. And then we went to the rooftop and just saw in this entire town like how people shot up fireworks. That was really really pretty. So yeah, I could definitely tell it was a very very nice experience.
Nice, nice. That's great. Great to hear. So I find people are probably more like, you know how like in our countries there's Christmas probably a little bit more important than Chinese New
Yes.
Year, right? Over there we have the same kind of family vibe, the same kind of really kind of welcoming and warm, heartwarming kind of attitude. I feel like yeah, it's a really the same kind of thing over here in Asia, just a little later in the year or early in the next year. Yeah. For me, my first and second Chinese New Year, I think both of them I didn't spend in China either. Also traveling, because nothing is really happening. Like people are at home, right?
Fair though, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people's Chinese New Year is really good, especially on TV. There's a really nice channel or whatever. But here, not much is going on. Like, if you look outside, I'll probably show a video too of what outside looks like, on campus. It's just super quiet. Nobody's doing
It
anything.
is, yeah.
Yeah, and then like even a lot of shops, as you were mentioning, are closed. So not much to do then. But it is a good time to travel around for sure.
It is, yeah. So it's difficult, but also nice at the same time, depending on which places you go. But yeah, if you find a small little village, again, I think, yeah, 100% small little villages for the win. So always go there, and then, yeah, spend your time over there.
No, that you say this. I actually tend to go to the opposite because I'm from Barbados, which is just tiny
right.
in the first place. It's just so tiny, right? Everything is a small little village, low-key.
Okay.
So I went to Thailand, Bangkok,
Oh,
for my first one, and then Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, and then my next one I went to Japan because I've always wanted to go to Japan. It was very expensive, but it was worth it. It was very expensive, but it was worth it. And I had a few friends there, and they kind of showed me a bit of this whole tall building city life. Back in Barbados, we probably don't have any place that is like taller than 12 floors, maybe.
oh wow.
We don't really have like really, really tall places. I could be wrong. There might be places taller than 12, but you're definitely not going to see like a 50-floor place. No, it's not going to happen.
Guys, fact check it, please.
Fact check, please.
Check it.
It's fine.
Fact
it's
check.
fine. Yeah, but there's nowhere really tall in Barbados. We don't even have any mountains. The tallest place is, if I remember, 800 and something meters. It's not 1,000, so no mountains either. Super tiny. So I always gravitate towards cities. But no, I want to ask you about. We talked about your first one, your second one. What is your plan now? It's almost Chinese New Year right now. We have what, like 5-6 days until Chinese New Year. What is your plan for this one?
So, as you might have heard, I'm a bit more of a spontaneous, chaotic guy.
Okay.
Don't have
Plan,
too many plans. I personally, first, to be fair, I don't have very high expectations or high needs for celebrating Chinese New Year in a big manner, simply because I didn't grow up with this tradition, of course. So for me, it's not like, to put it very simply, for me, it's just another week. Besides, like, everything is closed down and there's not many people around, but that's it. But I think if I could wish something, I would wish to spend at least one night or one evening with a friend of mine, a Chinese friend of mine that has some family over here. Because the last times that I spent were always still in this like traveler mode and people that I just met now, but I do know at least like one friend of mine who has family over here and he's probably going to spend it here. I have to reach out to him. Maybe I'm going to invite myself sneaky, but I would really, really like to enjoy, I think, a real family setting.
right, the Chinese vibe family setting.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely. And I do think I would really enjoy it. And I think that would be also a really nice memory.
Yeah, it would be, I think. It just reminded me that the first one, even though I went to Thailand and Malaysia, my roommate at the time was Malaysian. So then when I went to Malaysia, he actually invited me to his house, and I spent like 2 days there, and that was actually
Nice,
really
no?
nice.
It's nice, yeah.
And of course, that's how you said there's the meal that they spent a lot of time doing. So they had the the full circle table with lots of food that I also ate really really quickly, and then they were like playing what's that cooking game? That cooking game. The one where like some people are cutting, some people are boiling food.
That's a game?
There's a game on the PlayStation, or I think.
Oh, you mean Overcooked?
Overcooked. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, they were playing Overcooked. It was
Overcooked
so
is so
great.
good, yeah.
And the and we watched the Chinese New Year thing together. And there was a night we went outside, and they had like, their own fireworks. And you know, in Beijing you can't do fireworks, but
Yeah.
they're outside their house. They just, we were doing fireworks together. We were doing it, and they were running away while they do it. That was a great experience.
You know that like nickname in German for fireworks, especially these red ones that are very loud, we call them Chinese fireworks.
Really?
Yeah, China-Böller. It's a little bit more colloquial, but this is a very, very common word for that. So, and when I came here, I really noticed why. There were a few instances, not necessarily around Chinese New Year, but like Chinese people do love
fireworks.
They love fireworks, and there's a reason why we call them that way.
I see. Yeah. So it was a really good experience. So I hope that you get that whole family experience. So
I appreciate it. I gotta hit my friend up, maybe.
Cool. All right, I think that's it for today. I think we can end here.
Lovely. Already.
How long? I think it was.
I would love to. Let's continue this.
I definitely would love to have you back.
No worries, people. Joshua gotta go, but I'm still here, so I'll just turn this into my podcast here now. And
speaking of which, you had a podcast, no?
I did have a podcast.
Yeah, an audio one. Tell us about it. We can link it in the description.
Yeah, you can check it out, guys. It's a little bit of a time capsule now because I used to record it back in Beijing already 2.5 years ago. I do still have some episodes that I never edited and uploaded. The story of all of this is, first, yes, I do have a Spotify podcast actually, which is cool, and it's a cool thing. It's a cool icebreaker to talk about it at the party. But honestly, or if you actually look at it, I only ran it for like 3 to 4 weeks. It was not that much, but it's still online.
That's more than nothing.
And the reason of why I did it is many of my friends, when I moved to China, many people were curious, and many of my friends reached out to me, "Hey, Alper, how's China?" It's always this one question: "How's China?"
Yeah, I hear this too. Yeah.
Yeah. So what am I gonna say? Nice food, nice people. That's it.
Yeah.
And all the descriptions of like my very, very rich experiences and rich life in China were always so shallow, always compressed in these voice notes. So I couldn't really actually bring across what my real experience looked like. And I was like, you know what, to really show them how my China experience is, and also to save a little bit of time, not having to record all the same voice note every single time, I just recorded a podcast and I invited people like you over, people that I spend a lot of time with, and we talked about exactly that, our experience, China, Tsinghua as well, and just personal stuff. And my friends back in Germany got to meet my friends in China, and it was really, really nice, and they learned a lot. And I ran it for a few weeks, and every time a friend of mine was asking, "How's China?" I would just drop a link, and that's it. And yeah, this is the entire story of this podcast.
Go follow his podcast. I just remember we never asked you like where you're from and what you're doing here in China right now. This is like the beginning.
That's a very good question. It's very complicated. The where you're from first.
Sure.
What exactly do you mean by that?
Yeah, well, answer it as complicated as you would like to answer it, so that we can get like a general understanding.
So country-wise, I was born and raised in Germany, in a small city called Aachen. Aachen is right at the border. From my place, actually, you can walk maybe 20 minutes to the Netherlands and to Belgium. So it's really nice.
Okay, that's cool.
So it's really, really cool. By the way, you said the highest point in Barbados is 800 meters something.
800 or something.
The Netherlands is called flatlands, actually, and the lower lands. And the highest point of the Netherlands is right next to my city, so you can walk there. My parents hike up there every weekend.
Wow.
And it's 240 meters or something.
Bruh.
Yeah, but so I'm from this place. I was born and raised there, studied there, spent way too much time over there. It's a lovely city, but I'm also happy to have a little bit of a break from the city. At some point you spend a little bit too much time over there. But it's a really nice place. Check it out. It has a lot of history. My parents are originally or were born in Turkey and then immigrated as teenagers to Germany. Yeah, so I was kind of raised in this mix of like Turkish and German cultural background. Really nice, and this is my story here. And the second question, what am I doing now?
Yeah.
You want the official answer or the real answer?
First, the official one.
Okay. I'm here on a visiting PhD stay, so I am here for some research. That's the answer.
So what about that's what you're doing now, right? And if I remember correctly, you like recently started here. What were you doing before when you came to China?
When exactly?
The first 2 years, the first year,
All
first
right.
year.
So it's a relatively boring answer. I just did my master's in Tsinghua, essentially.
Just did my master's in the number one university in China. That's all. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, so it was a double degree program. So I studied back in Germany and then also in Tsinghua. And my real motivation was, of course, like academic and career reasons. But honestly, number one reason of why I came to China was essentially I wanted to see something or experience something fully else than what I know. Something that's very different than Germany. And I could have gone to Brazil, Kenya, Indonesia, but it was this program with this university called Tsinghua, and then I was a bit more curious and read into that, and I ended up here and then falling in love. That was essentially it.
You mean with the person, or you mean with here?
No, with mostly with the country.
Got you. You say, of course, it was academic, but actually, for me, my reason wasn't academic at all.
It was not.
No, I had already learned HSK 4 in Chinese, and I hadn't been to China yet. I was like, bro, I need to use this thing.
You have to, yeah.
I have to. I spent so many years. I had already spent 3 to 4 years already studying before I got here.
But that's actually a lot of dedication, isn't it?
I guess.
How did you keep yourself motivated to practice Chinese?
This is a really important question, I think, and something I'm definitely going to share in a video for sure. So the summary of it, the short version is my bachelor's was supposed to be 2 years in Barbados and then 2 years in China, and months before we were going to go to China,
COVID, yeah.
Pain.
Good old friend COVID.
Right? Pain and agony. People were saying, COVID is going to be gone in 2 months, don't worry, you still go. 5 months, don't worry. I graduated, started to work, and COVID was still there.
Damn.
Damn. Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
So in this time, my classmates, they all gave up on Chinese. They were like, okay, we're not going to China. Why even learn Chinese, right?
Yeah.
And it was like a small group of us, like 7 of us, because we had it was a scholarship, because it would only pay for so many people to do this anyway. So you had to like really compete to get in, right? So they were like, all right, we're all software engineers, we all can make apps, we're going to get jobs anyway. Let's just get jobs in English-speaking countries. But I'm like, nah. I put in too much effort already. No, guys. No. I worked because I had to do something in between.
Yeah.
But all that time I was just applying for, looking for degrees. There was online camps. So you used to have a lot of camps where you would go to China and travel in China for like a week, 2 weeks or whatever. But during COVID, they made them online instead. And maybe they would have somebody showing you videos. And they would have like a HSK requirement. So for this one, it's going to be all in Chinese. So you have to be at least HSK 3 or these kind of things. And since the Confucius Institute knew about my strong desire to get to China, anytime they saw one, they would just put my name, hey, we have this one going on. Hey, we have this one going on. And China's time difference between Barbados is like 12 hours. So I'm up at 2 a.m., 10 a.m. attending these camps because I need to get away to get into China. So my reason was mainly that I had already invested so much without getting here. I need to get here. The degree was secondary, I have to say.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really happy that it worked out for you in the end, though.
Thank you. Yeah.
And, of course, I'm not happy for you that you had to, that the way here was much more difficult than you expected, but it seems like you also learned a lot from that.
I think so. And I think it actually benefited me, Before I was thinking it was a bad thing, but what makes me realize it was actually a good thing in the end is 2 major things. One, when I got here, because I already had a foundation of Chinese, I was able to my Chinese get better much faster and able to do some things when I got here. Like I could ask about, where is the school Wi-Fi? I could learn some things in the apps. I could read some of the stuff. But the apps are overwhelming. That's a whole other podcast.
Not only an episode, it's a podcast.
It's a whole podcast. The apps. Yeah. Anyways, so I got some help with the Chinese. Like I had a foundation. People were telling me, okay, with your level of Chinese, when you get there, you'll be fine. You'll be good. And the second thing is, if I did go to that place in Suzhou, because the bachelor's is supposed to be 2 years in Barbados, 2 years in Suzhou, I don't think I would have gone from Suzhou to Tsinghua. I don't feel like I would have been able to, The distance between 2 of those is too big. The distance
in
between
terms of
ranking, I guess, and in terms of perception. But the university I was at in the Caribbean was like the top one in the Caribbean, which is different, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, so then that makes a difference. And then I think if I was in Suzhou, I would be kind of like applying from Suzhou to Tsinghua.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Understood.
Yeah, so I think it made a huge difference. And a positive, it was a positive thing. It was painful, just like any kind of like grind and direct is painful, but the result is good.
This is usually how things in life are in the end. You know, like the things that make you the happiest, or like where you actually feel the proudest about or best about, not the things that you get quickly. You know,
It's true.
put in a lot of effort, a lot of personal effort, and then with much more of a connection to it, and that's why you also appreciate it much more.
It's true. It's true. All right. That's it for today's podcast. We're going to go into the final segment, which is ALL, where we give you one app tip, one language tip, and one life tip in China. So look out for that.
And click the link here on his face to get forwarded to one of my favorite YouTube videos. It's going to be published on YouTube, isn't it?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, which is a Russian kids TV show.
Sure, yeah. Russian Kids TV show. He's going to tell me the name of it.
I think it's called Masha and the Bear. I'm not sure.
Why does this sound like a setup? All right, see you guys.
Bye-bye.
Oh, one more thing I forgot. I'll be back in a second. 那个准备好了吗? Okay.
In the meanwhile, I'm not sure if he's
Okay,
recording
gotcha.
his audio.
I won't record this part. I'll record this part. 这个最好。
I don't even know what I should do. I just have 5 seconds.
As always, we have a gift for our guests.
Oh, look at that.
There you go.
Oh, this is so nice.
Right, and this is from Taoyuan Service Center, which is the place that we're at right now.
Wow.
Their job is to service the foreigners in this area, and they're letting us use this room for free and everything.
Shout out to Talian. If you're ever here, by the way, the facility is so nice. The people here are so nice. They even speak German.